Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or a hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you being in the spot.
As well.
So it's like a round robin type thing with the three teams?
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. So that's really cool. We need to talk briefly, too, about Daniel Hall. And Daniel will be having his...
The rest of the schedule, Chuck.
Well, we just want to know when it started. We'll go over the rest of the schedule at some point in time.
Okay.
But we want to talk about current things. Daniel Hall this Friday at 4:10 a.m. is in the preliminaries. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Qualifying. He's in Group A.
Group A.
The Heats. Well, I guess it's the semifinals.
Yeah, or something like. There's only 8 in the competition. Isn't that correct? Isn't that what you said earlier?
That's what I said earlier.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was 16.
On what I was able to pull up, I'm not going to even say that there's not 16. It only shows 4 for Group A and Group B. Maybe it's just the highest world rankings or something like that.
But the finals will be on Sunday afternoon at 2:30, which would be 8:30 Paris time.
And we have Coach's address now.
Yeah, Coach McDaniel messed up giving us his address. We may bring everybody.
We're going to give everybody that address.
Larry, put up the graphic.
There you go. Larry's going to show. Liechtenstein Larry's going to put it up.
We'll bring a bus from here. Just park your car at Miller's and we'll take a bus over.
We'll bus to Coach McDaniel's house.
There you go.
We'll overwhelm their house.
So those are the only 3 sports that are starting off this month, right? Soccer and volleyball. And
Soccer,
football.
volleyball, and football. Men's basketball starts in November.
Golf is sometime women's.
Golf starts in September.
Okay, so it's coming up too.
I think our first tournament, I believe, is the 5th
of September.
I want to say it's in. I want to say it's in Tulsa.
The what?
The 5th.
The 5th.
I want to say it's in Tulsa, but I don't know that.
Well, if you want to say it, go ahead and say it. Nobody's stopping you.
I think it's in Tulsa.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good heads up. We got us a new quarterback coming in. Of course, the one we've got now is he's a sophomore.
Yes, Davis Bryson.
Davis Bryson's a sophomore.
And I heard he just went undefeated and beat Bama in the national championship. So
yeah, he's obviously pretty good.
This kid from Charlotte might be riding some pines for a couple of years.
Yes.
But always nice to have some nice recruiting going on with the Owls. A lot of good things going on over on campus. We are excited to have our guest on, Miss Lucy Kaiser, and we will go ahead and get another commercial out of the way, and we'll get Lucy on.
And it looks like we're going to go to East Lansing and Birmingham before we head out to Tulsa.
For the Dale McNamara.
Oh, the golf?
Tulsa. Yes, sir.
All right.
Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law while continuing in criminal justice, civil litigation, juvenile, and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
And thank you, Joshua Smith, for being a sponsor of the Owls Who Live Sports right here. Right now we have a first-time guest on. Everybody put your wings together and flap one out. A big hooty-hooty for Lucy Kaiser. How are you, Luce?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Man, if we were any better, we'd be you.
There was people slapping their TV monitors.
Look
it
at
doesn't
that.
look at all like ATI. I mean, like the commercial change, all of a sudden.
You know, we've got somebody much better looking than ATI. Of course, that's not saying much.
Hey,
but,
that's mean.
Oh, thank you.
It was, but that's okay.
So,
Factual.
Luce, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
But thank you. We lost Lucy, Adam.
I think she's back.
All right.
No.
Did you do something?
No.
It's all his fault.
Something's loose. It's very
thing. Yeah. It's a very poppy.
That's the word. There we
There
go.
it is.
There
All
we
right,
go.
she's
I'm
back.
now. I'm back.
all right.
Guess
Awesome.
who's back?
It's
Back
Luce
again.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Now we're singing. Hey, Luce, tell us what you do over there at KSU.
I am the Assistant Director of Revenue Enhancement for Kennesaw State.
Okay, and what? Put that in English.
Layman's terms for some of us.
It's a long term that basically means I try to bring revenue in.
Very nice.
And keyword on try.
And how's that coming?
So far, so good. I'm loving it over there. So a lot of changes happening. So a lot more money coming in.
So that's what we're doing on our show, right? So we as of the end of this month, we will have given over $3,000 to KSU Athletics.
There we go.
That's all we do. We say this on the show every week. If somebody gives $500 to Georgia or to Alabama or to Tech or Clemson, doesn't mean much. But you give $500 to KSU and you're part of something big.
Absolutely.
Part of something
Lucy's
on the
going to
basement
smile when
floor.
she's taking your check, and then you get to meet somebody else afterwards, see her at the game. It's not a bad deal.
Correct.
Yeah. So did you go to KSU?
I did. I did graduate from Kennesaw in 2022, so it feels like much longer than it actually has been.
And let me ask you, where did you go to high school? Because I tried to dig that up, and I was unable to find it. Not that I would be denied if I spent a little more time, but I'm currently in the dark.
I did go to high school at St. Francis in Milton, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
St.
Very
Francis.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. And I've seen you many times up in the the sponsor suite
Yes.
for the basketball games. What do you have to do with that?
So I pretty much run that whole show. So any hospitality from football, basketball, baseball, sometimes soccer, sometimes lacrosse. I pretty much put the show together behind the show and then let you guys enjoy it during the game.
So
Look at you.
would say your job is dealing with the hoity-toities of Kennesaw State supporters.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Would you say that Will and Charlie and Garrett are hoity-toities?
I plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, yeah. Did you know you were a
I
hoity-toity?
didn't get my seat the way it was supposed to. I thought there was going to be something different about it. Can you help me?
That's Garrett right there over there.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Garrett, he's such a pain.
Always.
Me.
Makes my job so much more difficult.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, so do you have a favorite sport?
No, I love them all. I do enjoy working basketball a lot. The fans, I think, are much more engaging in basketball. It's easier to be engaged because you're right there.
When you're
in
all
it.
lumped in one room.
Exactly. But football, obviously, we have some bigger supporters there that have suites and whatnot. So I've made great connections over there. And baseball, everything's changing, so can't really say too much on that now.
Got the new stadium being built.
Absolutely.
A new Lucy wing, because currently there aren't any, or there were not any, correct?
So there was. We took over the facility for the game days. So we took over the the hospitality suite over there for game days. But now I will have my own little room to make myself a home. So
Nice.
I'm excited
nice.
for that.
And more suites.
Yes,
That'll
that's what
be
we're hoping
sweet.
for. A real suite this time.
Yeah.
So
Real
not
suites.
just kind of presidential area, more of a suite.
And with your job, you go to every sport.
Oh, yeah.
So what's a sport that you had never watched closely until you had your current position?
I will say I have never watched lacrosse before. Mm-hmm. I have not really watched soccer. I know the rules of soccer at least, but
Don't touch it, that kind of stuff.
pretty much.
And has it been pretty enjoyable while you're at those games,
absolutely.
learning them
Yeah.
with true fans around you?
Not only the true fans, but being so connected with the team and with the coaches and working with them, off the field makes it so much more enjoyable to go to those games and to see the girls and watch them succeed.
I can believe that.
Well, this happens often. We just got a text in from the audience, from somebody out watching on Facebook or YouTube or something. They have a question for you.
Okay.
It says, ask Lucy who is her favorite donor to the Owls Fund.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
You want to guess who that question's from?
I think I know.
Mr. Kate.
Ooh, pick me.
You know who that is?
I got a few names in mind that I could think of
All right.
who that is.
I'll rip some off, and we'll let you know when you hit it.
I would guess one of those two over there.
No.
Really?
No.
It's somebody else who's usually here though.
Usually here most weeks.
I am not
And he's
familiar
there at
with
every most basketball games.
There's a lot
Although
of
he
people at
sits,
most
on the floor.
basketball
really
games.
close at the basketball games,
Brings
and
his lovely wife.
might be in charge of a very large organization of
Like
alumni.
alumni.
That would be Mr. Martin.
That would
Mr.
be
Martin.
Carrick Martin. That's
It didn't take her
exactly
very
it.
long, Maynard G. Krebs, to lead her right down
not too
to
long at
You're
all.
only 15th,
Clearly
20th on
her
the list.
favorite.
Yeah.
clearly her favorite.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. We'll see if Carrick says anything back. But yeah, that was from Carrick Martin. We talk a lot about the Olympics on our other show. We have 3 KSU students or 3 KSU people that are participating in the Olympics. Are you
Yeah.
aware of all 3 of them?
I am aware of all 3. I only know 2 names, but I'm aware of 3 of them.
Okay. And who are the 2 that you know?
So Daniel, who is with track, and he's with Team USA. And then we have Manu Johnson, who is with Denmark.
Yep.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So she's representing Denmark. So
Our
we would love to have her on our team, but,
But
I'm
at least
sure,
she's
I'm
in the
sure they
Olympics.
like her a little bit more.
I'll let you see what Carrick said. Carrick said, "I am crushed."
So our third member is
Emma Adam. What is her name? She's a climber.
Yep,
I
she's
don't
a
remember
speed
her
climber.
last name.
Speed
She's a
climber.
speed climber. I
Yeah.
know she is a student, but she is not with athletics. So she's just a student at
correct, because
Kennesaw.
there is no sport at Kennesaw State that she's
That's
able to
Correct.
do
speed
this
climbing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's
Makes sense.
interesting. Yeah.
We should have a speed climbing
Well,
team.
hey, let me tell you.
Well,
and
according to you, they should have everything.
I'm not trying to put pressure on anybody, but once you've made it to the Olympics, you already know. Emma, if you can bring back a medal, I think they should open a new department. We now
I think
sponsor
just
a new
having her
sport.
there.
Oh, and you're
That's awesome.
absolutely
Just
right.
having
You're
her
abs-
there by
3
itself.
athletes.
Absolutely,
yeah.
you're correct.
Yeah. And like you said, we wish Manu, who's been on this show.
Yeah.
As has Daniel. And Daniel has promised to come back and wear a gold medal on the show if he
Oh,
if
I
he
have no
wins.
doubt that he will.
Yeah. So I hope that 2 weeks from tomorrow, when we do our 100th show, or 2 weeks from today, when we do our 100th show, that not
2
only
weeks from tomorrow, we won't be here.
we'll be drafting. Yes, we will. We'll be drafting.
We'll be out there.
You'll be out there. But we hope you come back for the 100th show.
I would love to.
And I know Callie Terza is going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we're going to have Daniel. We're going to invite everybody that's been on the show to come back and say hi for our 100th party.
Including, we would love to have our original first guest from the first show, Miss
Laura
Manis.
Manis, our lacrosse coach. She was the very first guest we had on our
I
show.
will. I'll see what I can do over there. I'll
That'd-
see what I
that'd be
can
good.
do.
I got her in my phone. I'll text her. Yeah. I'd love to have
we
Laura.
could probably use a little inside help
Yeah,
over
we
there
can
too
help
as
her,
well.
yeah.
I don't know how much insight I have, but
Well-
I do know I could reach out to her.
Laura was just sitting over there minding her own business. And she's like, "You guys are doing? Oh, you're gonna come in on the show." So,
I think Carrick was here that night, and he drug her over here or
yeah,
something
probably
like that.
Both of those sound absolutely believable.
Yeah.
Bam. She
It is
couldn't.
true.
She couldn't say you were her favorite, but she believed when you were dragging people across the place.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're getting it rough over here, Mr. Carrick. So when I ask you this about the Olympics, if Lucy had 4 years to train
Oh gosh.
for any Olympic sport, and you didn't have to worry about hospitality and raising money and all that stuff, what sport would you want to be in the Olympics?
That is a great question. I was actually
Thank
thinking
you.
about that today. That there are some sports I didn't even know were sports.
Correct.
The breakdancing seems pretty fun.
We
I
talked
will say,
about that
actually,
earlier, yeah.
it does seem pretty fun.
It
I don't
helps
know
if you're
I
from Brooklyn to start out with.
Correct. I don't know if I would succeed at that or do too well.
Not a lot of hip hop stars from Milton, but there could be.
You never know.
Could be there.
You never know. You never know till you try, but that's the issue, is the trying part. I don't know if I want to do that. I think that's a tough one. I mean, rugby looks fun. Rugby looks tough, though.
We got a bronze medal, right, in rugby?
The women did, yes.
Yeah.
Women did, yeah.
I'm not too good of a swimmer. I can swim, but not at that
But
level.
you've had 4 years to train.
I think, is softball still a sport? Is it not?
If it's not, it will be again the next
It
Olympics.
will be
I would-
next time.
In
Okay, then
28.
Yeah.
I would start now training for that. And do
Did you
that.
play any high school sports?
I did. So I played basketball. I played.
Point guard?
I did. Point and shooting.
So you
Mostly-
said you
mostly
guard
shooting,
him, and
though.
you guard him, and you guard him. That's how you play point guard.
Played one and two.
Mostly shooting. And then I played softball. That was my main sport growing up.
Second
What
base,
position you were?
shortstop.
I was pitcher, catcher, shortstop, did a little outfield. But
Look
Everywhere.
at you.
yeah.
Did you have any aspirations of playing in college?
Oh yeah. Definitely when I was younger, I did want to play, and I was like, that's going to be my thing. And then I didn't want to put in the effort when I was younger, and realized that later in life when I got to college and was like, oh, I really should have been doing this for a while. Exactly. And then when I got to Kennesaw, I played on the club team for a year, and then realized I'm not getting too far with this. I should start making some money, and that's when I started my internship.
Very nice.
So
Now you've graduated right now, right? You're
Yes.
full-time employee.
I am full-time now.
Yeah.
Full-time and some.
And some. Yeah, absolutely.
The salary people, yeah. Hey, how long are you going to be there for? Until the game's over.
So you're
Pretty much.
So you're
Pretty
raising
much.
money for the school, but you're also running like the events as well.
Kind of, yeah. I'm running
Yeah.
part of the events.
Part of the
There's
events.
many, many, many parts to it. So.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't want to mess with your schmoozing, but you are trying to get people to donate, and those are the same people who you're assisting in the booth. So, do we ever slide little hints like, well, this booth could be even nicer if you would,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Little donation.
That's one of the perks of getting that, position to get right in there and talk to them. And we love showing people around the facilities for the good and the bad, because, the bad hopefully generates more revenue, and the good, they get to see, how we train every day. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the new Conference USA floor. I mean, I know we've got a new
I'm
floor.
excited for
I've
that,
seen
too.
pictures, but I haven't seen it live
yes,
yet. Yeah.
I'm excited too. I've seen the renderings of what it should be, and
But it's done already, isn't it?
It's not done yet.
Oh, I thought it was done.
It got a little delayed, but
Okay.
it will be done for the season.
I love how he looked at me. It's like, I think we're
thought she
going
knew
with
everything.
everything. I think
He
we're going with
definitely thought you
everything
knew
she
that
says.
answer.
We're going to what Lucy's got to say.
She's got a key to that building and can peer in at
He
any
definitely
point.
gave you that look, like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, a lot of good things going on over there.
See, now he's all stuck. Now he doesn't know what to do.
Chuck is stuck. Is that what
Chuck is stuck,
Chuck,
but man-
Chuck never gets stuck.
His wheels might spin occasionally, but man, he comes right out of it. Don't worry.
Exactly. My brain is turning, and as a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and do a brain train commercial? So.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations? Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit braintraincentersinc.com.
All right, welcome back. Thank you, Meg and Melissa, for being sponsors of the Owls Who Live Sports right here at Miller's Ale House every Wednesday. Chuck Burns along with Robert and our good friend Lucy Kaiser, who's now a major friend of the show, because she's already coming back next week.
For sure.
Yeah. So another question we always ask is, who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
See, we have a lot of good questions.
I think
right?
Milton Overton is going to be the most famous in my phone. Most important, probably. One of the more important. I won't say the most, but
he's pretty far up
I think
there.
he's top 5. You got the mom, dad,
I was gonna say
brother.
grandma.
Yeah, and then you got him under family. So
Milton never takes me shopping and eating on Sundays like grandma, but outside that,
exactly.
Milton gave us one of the greatest answers for that question. We ask everybody.
I would love to hear Milton's answer.
You'd be a little surprised. It was Nick Saban's wife, because he said if I never get anything done, I didn't call Nick, I called Terry.
Even better.
Yeah. Coach Bohannon's was Jerry Rice, which was really cool. I think it was Teddy Parrish. Do you know Teddy?
Yes.
Yeah. So Teddy's was, I think his was Samuel L. Jackson.
And he had a debate between Samuel L. and somebody else. It was like, okay,
Only Teddy would have to do
Let's
that.
go
Only
with
Teddy has
Samuel.
to do that.
You can just say you have a tie and your phone's way cooler than everybody else's.
Yeah. So my next question is, has your job changed any moving from ASUN to Conference USA?
I think almost every bit of it has changed for the better. I will say a lot has stayed the same. I mean, the goals are the same, to bring in money, to expand the Owls Fund, but overall, the branding has changed, the outlook has changed, everything is bigger and better. So that's kind of the biggest thing, is more so the outlook and the mindset of how we go about things and how we get more people and more fans involved. So,
was your position a new position?
It was not.
Okay, because I know, when you're smaller and you're getting
Yeah,
larger,
for sure.
They have to add some.
Yeah, for sure. So I came in before I think a lot of ads started happening. So I've been full time now since January of 23.
Nice.
Yeah,
So 18 months.
just about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
math,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get Larry on it.
Oh no, we'll be here a while if Larry's on.
I say around a year and a half because I don't want to do all that math. That's too
about
much.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. January to July is a half a year, so
There you
that's
go.
fine. Yeah. That's neat. What is your favorite part of your job?
I think meeting people that love Kennesaw as much as I do, and meeting people that love sports as much as I do. That's what makes the job easy, because I don't have to, I don't have to fake that.
Correct. So let me ask you this. You just kind of hit on something that when Carrick first asked Chuck and I to do this show, there's a school, that there's people who are going to stuff, but I think I underestimated, the super fan. Who these
They
Not
really
pointing
are.
fingers or anything like that.
Well, there's two of them over there, that's for sure. And when you start, you meet these people and you're like, wow, I don't have to sell them. They're selling me on why my job
Absolutely.
is cool. So I can
Absolutely,
only
that
imagine.
happens.
Yeah. I mean, when you took the job, you're like, oh, KSU, and then you start meeting people and you're like, oh wow, she's been saying go KSU since before I was born. And
Correct.
It's kind of crazy.
Correct. I seem like the new person to a lot of these people, and they're like, "You're not legit. You haven't been here
Yeah.
since the very beginning." And
Where's your blood, sweat, and tears? You haven't done it yet.
Exactly. But definitely being a student during the Big South and that move to the ASUN, and then the move to Conference USA, and being an intern during all of that was it was life-changing for me. And that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be here when I graduated. And then I meet people like them over there that have, really put their blood, sweat, and tears into it.
They have.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing on Thursday? Well, I got to go to volleyball. It's, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Well, what are you doing on Sunday? Well, there's a softball game. I can't miss that. So, it's kind of incredible. It's almost overpowering. I did not expect it. I really did not expect the depth of the average fan. Maybe a softball fan, maybe a football fan, but not somebody who just went to anything that had an owl on it.
We lost Lucy again. Is she spitting on the microphone or what? I don't know what it is. Do we need to get her on
Do a
Adam's
little-
mic?
Am I back? There
There
we
you
go.
are.
There we
There
go.
you go.
We got to
It's
get
a
that
magic
rolling.
touch right there.
Bottom of the chord.
She's got that magic touch. Remember that song?
That's the way you sang it, brother.
Yeah, good point. It's
I
from
saw the look
50s,
on his
yeah.
face, and I was interested for that answer.
Same look? Yeah, same look as I gave him a while ago. That's yeah. We have a good time on the show. I would say that, wouldn't you, Robert?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, being that you've been through every conference,
Big South.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
except for the NAIA. That is
which that's a level,
was
not a
Division
correct.
two,
conference.
yeah,
Correct.
So
You're absolutely right. You're
so,
right.
What did your position think about and prepare for, mostly with the Conference USA change? What did you envision, or your bosses envision for you?
I was about to say, not
as
too
a-
much my envision, but I definitely like to put my input in there sometimes.
There you
A lot of it was the branding and getting new fans involved, because people are talking about us, and it's how to keep them talking and keep them coming back to games. We always say one experience, one good drink, one good popcorn
Absolutely.
will get them coming back. And so it takes a village to make that happen. But I think for my job specifically was the Owls Fund and growing that, because it kind of went downhill a little bit during COVID, of course. And so bringing that up and really just continuing to watch it grow and to help it grow is the biggest thing.
Makes sense.
It is.
Do you go on? Do you ever travel with the teams?
I do not. I would love to.
Well, and so that would be your position does not travel with the team, but maybe you personally, if you know there's an opportunity, teams going here. Teams
Yeah,
going
absolutely. I can definitely go to really any competition that I would like to, as long as there's not a home match, obviously. But there's some ones that are a little bit more difficult, like basketball, going to Canada this year. I told Coach Petway that I'm on the list for whoever drops out first. I'm taking that
Yeah.
seat.
And
There
you
you
can
go.
probably take a jump seat. You don't even need one of those big.
Exactly.
big-
I
big
said I'll just
cushions.
hang on to the wing at that point of the plane.
Ride it like a bus.
Yeah. Carrick sent in a text saying we were in the Peach Belt for a long time, too.
Okay.
That
there we go.
was NAIA.
That was an
but
AI.
there was a conference.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carrick, for clarifying that. Even from where are you? You're in St. Pete, I believe.
He's somewhere down in Florida.
Yeah, I believe he's in St. Pete. I saw a picture
Sarasota,
of
St. Pete area.
Sarasota.
See, we're
That's where it
getting the
was.
heat, but we don't have the beach. He's getting the heat and the beach.
I'd take the beach. Yeah. I love that vitamin C, SEA. You gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. You remind me a lot of my niece. My niece, she worked Georgia Tech football, and she started out as Ralph Regent's personal assistant. And in 11 years, she grew up to be the on-campus coordinator for Georgia Tech football recruiting.
That's awesome.
But she was everything Georgia Tech. I mean, everything Georgia Tech. It was her life until she lost her job, and then
I can
she
only
was
imagine.
devastated. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what are your
but
aspirations? What do you major in? What did you major
I
in?
did major in sport management, and I'm actually currently getting my master's in sports administration.
Very nice.
So just trying to work my way up and
What do you want?
see what's
What's
out
your
there.
ultimate goal? What do you want to do?
Ultimate goal
Do you want to be
is
Cat Swag, or do you want to be Milton Overton?
Yeah. Which one of your boss's jobs are you gunning for?
Exactly. Now you're putting me on the spot.
No,
for
it's
sure.
it's okay. Those are aspirations. You're allowed to have
Good
For
them.
sure.
aspirations, yeah.
Well, from seeing it on the inside, I think I don't necessarily want to be an athletic director. I don't want all the pressure on myself. But I would love
Smart.
to be kind of a second-hand man, a right-hand man with that. Not to say if an opportunity doesn't come up, I'm not going to take it, but that's my goal.
Assistant AD, you'd take that?
Yeah, I was going to say, she's worried about the pressure of being the AD. Wait until the AD goes, okay, I need you to figure all this stuff out and give me all my
You're
answers.
right. Maybe I should rethink that a little bit.
That's okay. No, hey.
I'll answer that on the 100th show.
No. You know what's going to be great
cool.
is when you do become an assistant DA or DA. now I'm thinking about my daughter.
No, you're thinking about Adam.
When you do become the assistant AD, and you do all that work, you'll be like, I'm ready for the main job.
That's possible too.
Yeah. I think it
absolutely.
primes you and prepares you for it.
Nothing is out of the conversation for sure.
Love it.
Yeah. So when it comes to tickets and stuff, you don't have anything to do with that's all Sean, right?
So I do help with tickets a lot. So a lot of the season ticket holders and donors kind of merge a little bit. I would say majority of them are one and together. So I do help with that. I'm not going to turn down somebody asking for tickets. I do help a lot of, people have me as a contact and people also have him as a contact. So if they reach out to me, part of my job's revenue.
Well,
I'm not going to turn that down.
Right.
I want to ask you a hypothetical question because I've always thought about this. We give money to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be better if we bought tickets or if we gave money to the school?
I would say gave money
Yeah.
because tickets,
Because you can get us tickets, right?
100%.
There you go.
I can
Question
get
answered.
you tickets.
You can give me tickets?
I didn't
Yes.
say,
Why
I didn't
haven't
say
you
for
told
free,
me this
though.
for 2 years?
I didn't say for free. I
Oh,
just said
there
I
you
can
go.
get
You give
them
me
to
tickets.
you.
Ah, look at yeah, that's
She's
cool.
not draining the purse for
Well,
this.
you know, one of the things, and I was talking to Will about this earlier, is there going to be a block of tickets for away games?
Yeah, so we're working through that for really each game. So I know the San Antonio game, the UTSA is alumni is kind of putting that all together. They're getting a block. They're doing a whole tailgate before, doing a hotel block. So that's exciting for a lot of the fans to travel to that. And we're playing at the Alamo Bowl Stadium, which I just learned
The
recently.
Alamo Dome, right?
Yes, and I just learned that recently. I thought we were playing at their home, so that's
I think
a little
that
bit.
is their home.
That is there.
That is their
it?
home
I
stadium.
thought they
That is-
had. I thought they had a home football on their.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's the weirdest thing. I've been inside at one time, and it's not like any
we can
other
take that off the
dome.
podcast, so I don't look like
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know my
forget-
job. Absolutely,
Forget about it. It never
Scratch
happened.
that one, Lair.
for sure.
Yeah, I know I'm going to go up to MTSU. My son went to
that's
Middle
also
Tennessee State.
definitely in the works right now. I think a lot more faculty and staff is interested in that as it's closer.
Closest drive.
Unfortunately, it's on a weekday, so
Tuesday night.
Yep,
October
so
15th.
We might have to take a little bit of time off work, but we'll see what happens.
So you
it's a
haven't-
work trip. It's a business trip.
So you haven't
Absolutely.
been on the road, but do you anticipate going soon?
I do. I
Yeah.
do anticipate going to at least 1 or 2 games, hopefully per season is my goal.
with different sports.
With different sports, yep. So and I use season as from August to May.
Correct.
Because that's our in-season.
Absolutely.
So my hope is in the next year or so, once we kind of get into Conference USA and we know what everything looks like, to try and go to at least a game with each sport. Mm-hmm. Which I know is going to be very difficult, so we'll see how that works out.
Well, but everybody always gets mesmerized by basketball and football, but those volleyball players, they go everywhere.
See,
I mean,
I will tell anybody, anywhere, if you have not watched volleyball, specifically college volleyball, it is one of the most fun sports to watch.
is.
The girls are so into it. The crowd gets so into it, and they're good. I mean, they're really good, and that's another sport that I didn't really focus on. I did watch a little bit, but I really never put time into it, really.
Right.
And it's one of my favorite sports to watch, and I don't do necessarily hospitality for that unless we have a specific person or group in the suite. Obviously, I do help run the show, but that is one sport that I will go to every match, even if I'm not required to, because that's a fun sport to watch.
it is. And we've had a lot of the girls on the show, and they truly, they say it all the time, especially with baseball teams. Not everybody in that dugout likes each other.
Oh, 100%.
And that's just the case no matter what sport you're ever playing.
Absolutely.
That volleyball team's pretty freaking close. I mean, they I think they take bullets for each other. And
watching them practice too, our offices are in the Convo, so we get to go outside in the fall, and our away time from the office is watching basketball and volleyball practice. And those girls they're beasts, first off. They're outstanding.
absolutely.
They are some of the nicest girls.
They're some of the nicest beasts ever.
Absolutely correct.
We had some pretty big surprises on our show when they were here. Everybody wanted Manu to represent them, and then what it was?
Well, it was Coco had come on, and then Coco brought 3 other people.
Caroline and Manu.
When you find
No,
one,
it wasn't Manu.
When you find one,
was
you will
just-
find multiple
It
of
was
them.
just 3 of them, and then Coco asked each one of them a question. Like one of them, number 1, I can't remember her name, number 1 or number 2, she's getting ready to become a lawyer. And they said, which one of your teammates wouldn't you defend? Manu. And then she asked another one of the girls, if you were trapped in a jungle, which teammate would you want with you? Manu. And so then we're like, okay, we got to have Manu on. So Manu came on
For
like
sure.
the next week.
Yeah,
that
when
was-
it's the same name over and over.
Yeah,
but
exactly. She won everybody's list, no matter
It
what
was
the question was.
Caroline, Cole, Coco, and then one other. I can't remember who the other girl was. But do you know who Reverse Oreo is?
Oh Lord.
I don't know if I want to know who that is.
That's them. They're a singing group.
I do not.
Yeah, that's who it is. It's
okay.
Caroline and Coco and the other girl. I can't remember who it was. Are you trying to pull it up?
So Leah Freeman was on the
Yes.
show. Claire Parsons was on the show. And
I think it was Caroline.
Coco.
Love those girls.
Trying to think of who
I think it was either Leah Freeman or the other one.
And when you see one of them
Oh,
on
Maggie.
campus,
Was
you
it
see
Maggie?
all of them on campus.
Maggie Bukovic.
It might have been Maggie.
Yeah, because I'm looking on the current roster and she wouldn't be on there.
Yeah.
Oh no, there she is. She's there.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah, so
She's
those were the three that were.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's
you know,
a crew right there.
I just thought about it. I could look it up this way: Cincinnati, and then the top two was Tennessee.
And Kentucky.
Yeah. So it was Caroline Cole. So yeah,
it was Caroline.
Because all three of them are on the side of 75. I was like, do you guys ever drive like? And they're like, actually, yes. The three of us have done that.
Oh, for sure. Those three are 3 peas in a pod.
Just fun. You could tell they were
They were
having
so
fun.
much fun.
They were truly, some of the football players, get a little nervous when they get over here and they're like, ready to throw somebody through something. And then, these girls get out here and boy, were they as calm and cool, as collected as you could possibly
Oh, yeah.
be.
And even, pregame, if you didn't know it was pregame, you would think it's just a practice because they just have so much fun being together and...
You're good.
Okay,
You're
I'm
good.
good. They just have so much fun being together and practicing together and the camaraderie between them, and it's fun to watch.
It is.
And that's really cool how Coach Schunsel puts that team together.
Absolutely.
Because they go take some camping and all that stuff. And
I mean, he knows
Coco
what he's doing.
Lake.
Coco almost drowned.
That's the man
Manu
who
stole her noodle.
Yeah. While she was drowning, would not give her a noodle. She's like, well, then I would have drowned. Yeah.
I hate it when nobody gets me
See,
my
at that
noodle.
point, it's every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's two of us and we're both on the verge of going under, the self-preservation kicks in. It's hard to throw anybody completely under the bus.
Correct.
Robert, let's go ahead and get our last commercial in. And we'll continue speaking with Lucy Kaiser.
Yes, we will. Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something off your bucket list, American Access and their 3 locations in Atlanta, Marietta, and Tucker are now waiting for you. Each and every location is conveniently and not coincidentally located next to a brewery. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And thank you, Dan Fisher, for being a sponsor of the Owls Who Live Sports right here every Wednesday night at Miller's Ale House. We now have one of the 7 dwarfs with us.
Sneezy?
Sneezy. I think Sneezy has. I think we have a new nickname for Liechtenstein there.
Well, I think we'd already labeled him one of the dwarfs, but they're just changing the name.
They're
Now,
just saying-
now he's Sneezy.
He rotates.
He does. He can. There's nothing wrong with rotating. There's 7 quality names.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't see him as maybe dopey. We'll see. We'll get to there.
all depends.
Yeah, there you go. So. You said that you'd like to play lacrosse maybe, and you also said you want to go on these road trips. Do you know, like, the schedules, and if you could pick which football game you want to go to this year and which volleyball match you want to go to and which golf match and which basketball game?
That's a tough one, but I think, I'm very, very, very happy that we are playing Jacksonville State at home.
Bam, bam,
But
bam.
if we were playing them there, I would love to go there.
You know what I'm talking about, Adam? Yeah.
I would love to go there and show them out on their home turf. But I'm very happy that we're playing them at home on a weekday, getting the students out there.
I like it. The basketball schedule starts and ends with them.
Yes.
First conference game against them, last conference game.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be with us.
We'll take them both games. We're not worried about that.
Bam, bam.
So we discussed a couple of weeks ago, there are a lot of college football games that have their own little intertwined battle, like the
Yes.
Battle of the Oaken Bucket and the Border Wars and all that stuff. Well, me and my cohort over there, we came up with an idea for Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State,
What is it?
the
I'm here for
Barnyard Brawl,
it. Okay.
because we're Barnyard Owls.
I can get with it.
And-
I can get with that for sure.
Yeah. I think it's cool. We want to get that message up to Milton, and
We just need a couple really large trophies that can go back and forth in
Exactly,
between,
exactly.
And And I don't think you have a rivalry until somebody takes the trophy away from your home field. If you're on your home field and you're like, yeah, I didn't even know we had a trophy, but man, they just left with it. I'm really upset by that, and I think that's where it would all start to build.
For sure.
It could be a lot of fun.
See, here's the thing with that statement that you made. So Sean, who's our ticketing guy,
Betts?
Yes, Sean Betts. So he went to Jacksonville State. We do not let him live that down at all. And he
Great
claims,
guy minus that
absolutely.
one
Great
huge
guy.
glaring problem.
Correct. Great guy. Love him on our team. He's phenomenal. But he went to, unfortunately.
A Gamecock.
But he claims that it's not a rival to Jacksonville State, which I think makes it more of a rival to Kennesaw.
Well, I can tell you the most upset I typically will never mention other schools during this, but I can remember watching something 25 years ago, and they asked the University of Florida who their top 3 rivals were. Georgia wasn't one of them. To be a rival, it's got to be mutual, and you've got to be beating people and all that other stuff. So.
Back then, Florida beat Georgia every year.
I wasn't sure if I could say it or not, but you brought it up yourself, so.
Lord. She has the ugliest watch I've ever seen in my life.
Blue looks
That
good
Gator
on
watch?
everybody.
Absolutely.
I do my best to hide it because I am an owl. I am an owl, and I'm the only one in my family that did not go to Florida, so I was raised that way. But being from Georgia, they're definitely rivals.
Well, correct. At this point in time, but it's just something that's
Back when
reciprocal.
Spurrier was beating them every year. He wasn't much, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think they are definitely our natural rival over on the other side of the border.
Correct.
The hour early.
And the same thing is said about Georgia Tech and Georgia. Georgia doesn't consider Tech a rival.
Yeah, unfortunately.
After beating us 9 out of 10 years or something like that.
But I don't think
I'm
they
a big
have that
Tech guy.
over us. So I don't know. I don't know why they're so cocky about not considering us a
Because
rival.
they're the Gamecockies. That's why they're cocky.
So maybe if we just keep pummeling them, they'll be like, okay, you're our rival.
And they think getting into Conference USA a year earlier than us gave them an up. But
Clearly, way better.
I mean,
What was that?
We'll play.
That's what I thought you said.
We'll play it out on the field. We'll show him who the true
And the
winners
court.
are. And the court.
And all of the other arenas.
The other fields, the other courts.
And the pitch.
And the
And
pitch.
the pitch.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually
The
something.
track,
That is
everywhere.
something that I learned.
The pitch.
I believe. I think when I was an intern, so I didn't even start full time, and they told me it was the pitch. So that's something that I learned.
No, and when somebody says it and you don't know what it means, you're like,
You
okay,
look at them like they're
I
crazy.
didn't even know there was any pitching in this sport.
Correct. I was like, what are you talking about, the pitch? And they're like, that's what the field is called. It's like, no, it's a field.
It's the same one. It's a field.
Exactly.
And it's nil. It's not nothing. You lose 1-0.
Yeah, that was another thing, is I thought that was just something fun that the announcer said. And I was like, oh, that is a soccer thing. Okay.
Yeah.
See, things that you learn when you learn the team and you go to the games.
So, knowing that you weren't probably going to play college athletics, was there any other place that you thought about going besides that place on your watch?
No.
No.
There was nothing else really. As a kid, growing up, I was like, I'm going to be a Gator softball player. That was that. And I learned very quickly when they won so many national championships that was impossible. But yeah, I mean, people always laugh and they're like, what happens if Florida plays Kennesaw, which we have. And
You're an owl.
I'm an owl.
Absolutely.
I'm an owl. It means more to Kennesaw and to the black and gold.
Absolutely.
Carrick texted in again and says, Jacksonville State is cocky because they have that bowling team.
And that's one thing that Carrick has been definitely. What did we call them? The gutter queens over there.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have a bowling team soon to match up against those tough girls from just south of Anniston, or just north of Anniston.
Just north of Anniston, yep. So you'd like to go to Jacksonville State. Is there anybody on the basketball schedule where you can go? I think you said
Basketball.
that in Canada?
I would have loved to go to Canada, but, I'll just fight somebody for that spot. I'll work on that.
I'm out.
That's a good question. I haven't looked too much at basketball. We're so focused on football, I haven't memorized all the basketball dates yet.
Pull it up, Robert. Let's
What,
give
basketball?
Lucy some help.
Basketball dates.
Yes.
Let's see. I got
See,
volleyball. I got women's golf open.
Because you could go to any of the conference games. Let's think
Correct,
about the non-conference
exactly. Yeah, I
games
got to
and
look at those
see
non-cons.
what's going on.
I would like to point out we are 3-1 all time against Jacksonville State in
Thank you.
football.
See, that's
And
all
that-
we have to
There
say.
you go.
And that's what,
One of
generally
them-
speaking, if somebody does not acknowledge you as a rival, it's because they've dominated you so much that they don't consider you, which was the case in my reference of the Florida-Georgia.
Exactly.
Clearly not the case, so yeah.
We've dominated them so much.
I
They
don't-
just don't want to admit what has happened.
Including the 5 or 6 overtime game at then Truist Park.
Yes.
And, that's okay. That's on them. And we just know that we're better.
Exactly. So I know, I don't think we go to Indiana this year.
We do not. We actually have Rutgers coming here.
No, Rutgers is coming
What
here.
a big game. So,
November
Tacoma
24th.
Falls,
Fun.
California Baptist, Bryan College. That's going to be a big one here. Presbyterian comes to town. Abilene Christian comes to town. Rutgers comes to town. Then we have the Alberta swing of our season. UC Irvine, Townsend, and Kent State. And yeah, just sign me up for Alberta. I'll definitely go there.
Yeah, I think looking at the non-conference schedule for basketball this season, I think the only one I would really, take some time off for would be that Alberta.
Well, but how about Santa Clara or San Jose? They got if you manage that, that's over a 4-day thing. So if you go
San
out there
Jose
for 5
would
or
be great.
Hey, Adam.
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way to San Jose?
I don't know the way to San Jose, and I
Okay.
don't want to learn the way to San Jose. I'm good.
You're just gonna buy a ticket and it'll take you there.
Exactly.
Delta.
Use
the
some
Delta
miles.
counter. The Delta counter is the way to San Jose.
I don't know if Delta's the counter right now, but it will be then.
We play at MTSU too. Oh, that's right. They're our conference. Yeah.
Yep.
We play at MTSU on January 9th. It's a Thursday night.
I might have to go up for that. My son went
But
to
yeah,
MTSU.
starting with
There you
Jack
go.
State and ending with Jack State. It's just exciting to me.
I mean, that's just a perfect schedule right there.
It is. And then the Conference USA tournament will be in Huntsville,
Yes.
Nice city.
Rocket Town,
Yep. I've been to
Trash
Huntsville.
Pandas.
Trash Pandas?
That's the name of the
Yes.
minor league baseball
Baseball team, yep.
The Trash Pandas.
Cool name.
Bam. It's a little raccoon, but it's Trash Panda.
Hey, now, have you been to a game at Ben Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Cool environment.
Oh, it's one of the best. I try to go once a year. It's been a little bit more difficult since working here and getting the schedules together, but I try to go once a year. But, I mean, the atmosphere is unbeatable.
I've driven around the stadium, but I've never been inside. I would love to go.
It's
we did a show last week. You weren't here. Were you here when we did the stadiums? No, you weren't. Were you?
No,
So we
that was
did
me
me and Adam. We did the 5 greatest college football stadiums and the 5 most intimidating. And Ben Hill wasn't on either list.
It wouldn't be one of the best, but I could see, if it was on the intimidating list, I don't think
for
anybody
sure.
would argue with it.
I mean,
when 95,000 people start doing
It's
that,
great.
it's got to feel a little weird if you're a stranger.
Hey,
Oh, for sure. That's the goal.
Yeah, and you still want to be around when KSU is that big, and we're doing the
We'll
owl
see.
or whatever.
We'll see.
yeah.
I'm here for right now. I'm happy here. I'm loving it here. So, yeah, got to see Conference USA through and see how it.
You got another March Madness coming your way.
Exactly.
You've got a football. When we become the best of the rest and get a 12 seed
There you go.
to start out with before we
See,
join a
you
Power
know,
4
I
conference.
have the basketball
I
shirt
saw that. I
on.
love
Very
that.
nice.
So
Did you go?
I did.
To Greensboro?
I did go to Greensboro. That
did
was
too.
2 months into my full-time job,
Oh,
and I
was
was
it?
like, "This is one of the
Great
greatest
job.
jobs in the world."
Oh, that's right. You were at the tailgate thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember talking
Yep.
to you there. Yeah, that was fun. So have you got any more questions? I got 2 more.
Well, just the one that we always ask at
Well,
the
I'll
end.
let you ask that, and I'll ask the one before.
Okay.
So if I can remember what it was, because now I just blanked out because I remembered the other one. If making this transition from conference USA, two Conference USA from Atlantic Sun. What team's going to have the easiest transition, do you think?
Well, lacrosse is not transitioning.
Because there is no lacrosse.
Correct. So that might be one of them. I mean, they have an easiest transition because they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, not to interrupt, but I'm sorry, I always do. If all of the teams get a little bit better because we're in Conference USA and their competition isn't getting any more difficult, then yeah, that team could very easily start to dominate even more so.
For sure. But I think you asked for the most challenging or the easiest. I forgot which one already.
The least challenging.
I'm already getting short-term memory loss, and I'm only 24.
I'm telling you.
All
Just
downhill.
wait, honey.
This is the trajectory of KSU. This is the trajectory of her mind.
Well, I always laugh because in the office, I'm always asking, what was that? What did you say? I forgot what you said on that meeting. And they always make fun of me. They're like, you're the youngest. There's no way you're already losing your mind.
Well, I've always told Coach Keith Schutzel that it's him because they're already playing a Power 5 schedule.
Oh, yeah. I will.
I went to the Wake Forest match last year, which was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a fun one to watch. They've already had a lot of good competition.
Absolutely.
He's really good with planning that out, so that is definitely one team on there.
Yeah, and I very much look forward to going to Wake Forest next year when the football team opens up at Wake Forest and then goes to Indiana the next week.
Yeah,
I might make both those games.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
She's going to try to have enough credits built up to where she makes both those trips.
I got to keep working straight for I think the rest of time until those
I'll
weeks.
do every soccer game, every cross country. I'm doing it all. Just get me on those 2 planes.
Correct. I will take a day off, even Sundays.
Absolutely. Well, you can't. There's always something going on.
Always.
Exactly.
Always something.
So,
all right, Robert, go for it.
Final question for you. There's the camera. Somebody out there is thinking about coming to KSU. Maybe it's to work side by side with you. Maybe it's to become the next great superstar in one of these sports. What do you have to tell them to get them here? Why?
It's Kennesaw State. I mean, it's Kennesaw. And we always say around the office and really just around athletics that the thing we hate the most is when people say it's the best kept secret in Georgia. Because we're not a secret. There's no secret about it. Once you come on campus, I think the amount of recruits that we've gotten just from bringing them on campus one time, it's a beautiful campus. The atmosphere is, we're really family around here. It's a really tight-knit community, but we're growing. You still feel like you're a part of something bigger. And that, that's it. It kind of sells itself.
It does. It does at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to your point, Robert and I would have never met these guys over here or met you. I mean, that's what the greatest thing to me about this show is that we've become part of the family. And that,
100%.
And that's really special.
And my family doesn't always include me as part of the family. So, being that another larger one did, that's pretty amazing.
Well, when we see each other a little bit more than our families during the season, you kind of start to become real family. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're up against the clock, Luce. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
How about a
Thank
big hootie hoo for Lucy Kaiser? All right. Thanks for coming out to Miller's. I said Wheeler. Miller's Ale House this Wednesday night, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget, 2 weeks, our 100th KSU show. We look forward to seeing you then. Until then, hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo.